We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Okay. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing, man. What's going on? What's going on? I got my man, the philosopher, brother Thomas Hill in the house. What's going on, Tommy? How you feeling?
We're taking it slow motion, baby. Slow motion. That's all I can do.
So I want to talk to you, man. Just have some boxing talk, man. So what do you see? What do you think about what's going on with we probably won't see Dimitri Bivol and my guy dang, I just lost his name. But Turbiev.
Turbiev.
That next. What you think about that? Salute, Billy.
What happened with that fight?
Oh, they're not gonna do it until next year.
Well, I'm not surprised at that.
You think
It's almost the end of the year, and they're coming off a fight like that. You know, a lot of controversy surrounding it. You know, the fight next year, as long as it's early next year, like February, March, that's cool. I'm not mad that they're not doing it this year.
that fight had zero controversy though?
Well, a lot of people say Bivol won. I don't know. That's up to them. It's their opinions. They saw the fight. They watched it like we did. A lot of people said Bivol won. A lot of people around here don't think he won. But it's up to you. It's that close of a fight, man. Don't you think, T?
Absolutely. It was a very close fight. I mean, it was a fight in which you see play over many times before. Like, if you control a round, but not decisively, and you allow a guy at the last part of the fight, let off theories and whatnot that can swing the decision of the judges, I mean, that usually does happen. So I've seen people steal rounds before, and maybe they felt like rounds were stolen, and they awarded a certain fighter a fight. But I mean, it's a great fight nonetheless, because what you saw was one who was supremely skilled go up against a supremely gifted power puncher, and you saw the power puncher adapt to the skill of the skilled fighter, and it made for a great matchup. And I think that if they fight again, it would be a great matchup. However, I don't know if it's a fight that you turn around this soon in the game and make it within the end of his career, because for one, I mean, Bivol showed the wear of the fight on his face. It wasn't a fight that he didn't go through a lot in that fight. That was a fight that he had to overcome some things. He was able to overcome it, but he definitely had to overcome some things. And when you look at Beterbiev, like, it wasn't very much wear on his body, it looked like, even though there was a great action on both of their ends. So, you know what I'm saying? I just think that it's fights like that, you're giving us what we want. You don't rush it. You make sure that everything is right. You want both participants at their best. So,
Yep, and that's what I said, T. Like, that's why I said I ain't mad at, if they go February, March. Take the year off on that tough fight. Both tough fight for both of them, I believe,
They
took
gotta
about
rest their
doing
bodies.
next October. They talking about next October.
Now that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now that's crazy.
And like
Yeah.
my man said, he said he was feeling those punches. Like those punches weren't lost on him.
Oh yeah, he had the
He
guard
was
up
taking
though.
a lot of, yeah, he did that. But like I say, a lot of the marks that you saw on the face of Tank was from his guard being up, and the punch
Hold on,
still.
hold on. How did we get talking about Abdul Wahid? How?
Well, because that's the person I know you love, bro. You love either whether it's misguided love or not. It's still love, and but you see it on his face because he's a lot lighter in complexion, so it resonates more on his face. Well, even if he did block the guard, I mean the guard caught some of the punches. Just his punch hitting his glove, making his glove slam against his face is enough to put damage to it and make marks happen. But what I saw wasn't just that type of normal wear from like somebody blocking it and their glove hitting the face. That was glove was getting to face. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Salute to my man Bentley. My bad. Salute to my man Bentley. Definitely
salute,
salute to
here.
cousin Bruce.
Here.
And we got my
Salute
man
my guy
Bronson
Bentley.
Scholar in the house.
Scholar.
Shout out to the scholar. Shout out to the scholar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
My
shout out
bad.
to Devore and Better B for
Yes.
putting that together again. You know what I'm saying? We love to see that fight. That's a fight we definitely want to see take place.
I kind of don't want to see the rematch in that, to be honest. I'd rather
Huh?
see. I mean, I wouldn't mind it if it happened. I'll watch it. You know, we get up here, we'll cook, and I'll watch it with the fellas. I don't have a problem with that. But I would like to see Better Be in the winner of Morrell and Benavidez more than that rematch. Then they can rematch that afterwards. But if you want to have a rematch, cool. I'm all right with it. I just don't. I ain't really pressed for it.
Puerto Rican Freeze in the house. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Brazil, man.
Or I should say, hola, senor. Hola, senor D3.
You
But
said you.
go ahead.
No, I was asking what you say.
No, I said, hola, senor D3. But I would say this, man. That was a good fight, and this is why you don't see many that's why you don't see 50-50 fights as much, because they do take a lot out of the fighter. And it's just kind of weird to see. It was kind of weird to see Arthur Beterbiev, actually really pressing in the fight. I've never really seen him work like that. He was in there working, man. So I enjoyed it.
I've seen him work like that. I've seen him press a fight.
I mean, I'm talking about where it looked like somebody could actually hang with him. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, he been beating people to death, man. He just going there. I mean, he beat the brakes off of Joe Smith Jr., man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Joe Smith was the one that knocked B-Hop out the ring. So,
Yeah. I don't know, but I'll say this. I think that fight should happen next. And of course, Thomas had to bring up Abdul Wahid. So free. I didn't bring up Abdul Wahid. Your boy took my man Just Do. Your boy Thomas could not resist having a show without talking about Abdul Wahid. It's ridiculous, man. He must be on the payroll. But what's going on,
crazy.
Sally?
Just know that, like, in boxing, there are people who generate talk and generate, like, content. That man is such a one. But just it was a base of reference more so than anything. Like, many people felt like, there was damage being done to Tank by Martin. And you see a little red area around his face from him blocking Frank's punches most of the time. You know what I'm saying? There were some punches that got in, but for the most part, the damage from the block punch and a punch landing looks different. So you said he was blocking a lot of Bivol. Bivol was blocking a lot of Beterbiev's punches, but that didn't look like it was getting blocked, dog. And if it was getting blocked, that make it freaking slicking sledgehammers, dog, because it left major damage to his face.
Say it again. Major
damage.
I didn't know his eye was slumped like that. Until I really looked at it, I was like, dang, his joint was slumped, dog. But
What you got on this, Scholar? What you got on this, man? We
Y'all gotta understand. Tank eye was like that, and Frank Martin didn't even go the distance with him. So if Frank Martin would have went the distance, hitting on his arm, making it hit his face, he probably would have had the same amount of damage. And then we can't pretend like Better Beef ain't heavy handed. Right? That's why everybody was going to sleep, because motherfucking heavy handed, to hit you in vulnerable areas. But I I sent BB. I just sent you the scorecard, bro, and I sent you the punch stats, bro. Ain't no way Bivol lost this fight, bro. Like
Yeah, BBO, post that in your community or post it. I want to see that, or post it in a private chat. I want to see that what Scholar said. I want to see that.
I think it's
I
absolutely.
just finished, not to cut you off, Scholar. I just finished saying that, there's a lot of people that think Bivol won the fight. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But carry on.
You know what I think is silly, bro? Boxing is the only sport, bro. Boxing and UFC, combat sports, the only sport, bro, where you can win, but it ain't enough, right? So like if Steph Curry hit a buzzer beater, boop, that bitch wet. Ain't no judge be like, hold up now, hold up, it go to us. Winning is enough in every other sport.
I don't want to mess you up, Scholar, but I'm trying to keep it clean, man. Go ahead. But do your thing when we trying to keep it clean. I know you like to cuss. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That let people know I'm real. You know, I ain't Muslim. I ain't changed my name yet, like Tank, but I'm working on myself. But now, so yeah, man. When boxing is the only sport, bro, where combat sports where you need the judge to confirm if you won or lost, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is what I do not understand about boxing, bro. Better be messed up Bivol's face, whether it was from a punch or him punching himself, whatever the case. He took damage in that fight that he not getting better after that fight. Neither one of them, right?
No.
One getting older and took damage, and then one is younger and took more damage from the bigger, heavier-handed guy. And I feel like he did everything right in that fight. So even if you wasn't going to give him the fight, it wasn't enough to take his belt and give him a loss. That's crazy to me. I can't believe that they looked at that fight and said, yep, Beterbiev did enough to become undisputed champion and take this fight home. I'm like, bro, what? And then that scorecard. And you know how they fill out the scorecards before the fight, bro?
I got that pulled up for you.
You know how they fill it out before the fight, BBO? Because whenever they fill it out, they'll start giving a whole bunch of rounds to the fighter they want to win. And they'll say, oh, I'm giving them too many rounds. Let me give the other guy a round. And a lot of times, it beat a round that they lost. It beat a round Bivol lost. like nobody would give Bivol that round.
Yeah. I think I want to get free on this. Go ahead, Puerto Rican Free. I know you got someone. I want you to cook on this. Go ahead, Free.
The problem that I have with people thinking that Bivol lost or Bivol won, we got to understand. Like the boxing scholar said, combat sport is the only sport where it's judged off of opinion. Mm-hmm. It's not an actual buzzer or a point score that that actually happened. It's based off opinion. I believe that shot landed. I believe he got hurt this fight. I mean, this round. I believe he got the better of this round. It's based off opinion. So when you have it based off opinion, it's always going to be some kind of question. Did this person win or did that person win? Unless it's just totally obvious that the other person won, or it's a knockout that the person won. So I'm not upset with anybody that believe that Bivol won. I'm not upset with anybody that think Arthur won because it's based off opinion. It was a close fight. And when people say, oh, that scored 116, 112, I mean, it's not that bad from what people think it is. 116, 112. It sounds like it's worse than what it is, but it's really not. Because anybody that said they had Arthur that win the fight, most people would say I had it 7-5. Most people say I had it Bivol 7-5, or I had Arthur 7-5. So if you had it Arthur 7-5, and you heard the 116, 112, y'all realize that's only 8-4. There's only one round off. There's only one round off. It's 8-4. So when people say, "Oh, that's crazy," he ain't win that much. It's one round. So it's based off opinion. It all depends on who you believe won the fight. Like I said, is judges see it from a different angle than what we seeing from. We looking at it on TV. We get to watch angles that judges some of those judges don't have those ability to see those angles. They sitting at the ringside, sitting in one spot. They don't get a chance to see it from the right side of the fight or the left side of the fight. They see one angle, and that they base off of that angle what they saw happen. That's why I say it's based off opinion. So it all depends on what the judges seen and what they was looking for. We don't know exactly what each judge is looking for. some judge could be looking at who landed the hardest shots each round, or who was the more aggressive fighter each round, who was the better boxer, who had the better defense. We don't know what they're looking for. We know, well, most of us know what the 4 criteria of boxing is, but that doesn't mean every time you sitting here going by every single criteria of boxing will win this round.
So I got to share this story, BBO, because they don't know this, man. So me and BBO was at a fight one time, man, and BBO was walking, bro, and BBO tripped over a dog. We're like, what the fuck, a dog ringside? And the judge said, we said, hey, is that your service dog? He said, no, that's my CNR dog. Man, listen, how the fuck they got criteria?
Hold on. You going
how
crazy
they got,
on the cussing, man.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, you going crazy, man. You going crazy.
Hey, look, how do they got criteria, bro? How they got criteria that they don't even understand the criteria themselves. Like they're just giving Better Be points for coming forward. That's not effective aggressiveness. They're not even scoring defense. Every time Bivol got hit with a hard shot by Better Be, he came back with 3 punches. He was averaging 3 punches to his 1. So this is what you mean to tell me, right? I asked people that picked Better Be and thought Better Be won the fight. I said, what rounds do you give Bivol? Let's score the first 4 rounds. They either gave it 3-1 or a clean sweep. So I said, you can't find 3 more rounds to give to Bivol to at least make it a draw. That makes absolutely no sense as far as math goes. And I was like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Bivol was on the ropes and he would always spin off and get right back to the center of the ring. He was really good and tight with his defense. He was catching a lot of those shots. Defense is a criteria that you're supposed to score with. So why are they not scoring with it? It's like they're only giving Better Be point. They only pay attention. And see, this is the problem with judging. Because it's so subjective, they only pay attention to one fighter and they don't know enough. Nobody could challenge their decisions, right? So they can literally fill the scorecard out and then just leave it there and sit there and enjoy the fight. Who gonna question them? They don't have to say why they scored this round this way. They don't have to say anything. And another thing they got to implement, bro, when Max Kellerman, Emmanuel Stewart, and these guys are ringside, they got monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they get the judges' monitors? They the ones that's deciding the fight. Emmanuel Stewart will go back on the replay and say, hey, man, look, he threw a jab over and then he came over the top with the right hand. He's able to get a different point of view to give it in real time and give it to the audience. Why would they allow these judges who don't even know boxing, really, right? And it shows. Why would they give them the worst view in the house and then not challenge they score? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's open for interpretation and it's open for corruption. It's just simple as that.
You've been overcritical as usual, Scott. I think the thing you're missing is
I feel the same way though, BB. You know how I feel.
Let me finish real quick. I think we've been doing this. We've been fighting for about 100 years now, maybe 128 years, and this is how we've always done it, and this is how we do it. You got to just live with the results, man. We seen Ken Norton. Ken Norton got 3 fights stolen from him. Nobody cares. That's how we do things. Either you play the rules or you don't. I mean, what you're saying makes a little sense. Maybe they should have replays, but monitors, then you're not giving us your true thoughts. You just give them what you see on TV. I don't know. What you guys think on that?
Well, we scored a fight better than the judges sometimes.
I was just about to say, BBO, they missed a lot of stuff, bro. Why wouldn't they get them out of it?
I've been said that, Scholar. I said they need to be put in rooms or put them, or you can put them at the fight, put them in there, give them a nice HD or one of these, high quality, high tech monitors and let them watch the fight and judge it. I don't know what is the deal about it. It doesn't make any sense to just sit them around the ring where this one got that view, but this one see another view. Hell, one of them judges had Canelo beating Floyd. So, like I said,
she had a draw.
Had it a draw, whatever. That, like they said, she should be investigated by the FBI and she should be locked away and stripped. And it was a mess. And if they don't fix it, it's going to continue to happen. You're going to have, like what Scholar said, he's going to come with these actual facts and numbers that you can't make this stuff up. And then you look at it and say, well, how did he win? And then you have other people to argue the facts. And it's just like you said, it's no justice. It's all an opinion. It's terrible.
But I still think sometimes, even when we sitting here watching, when we sitting here watching and we calling a fight, sometimes we still have a different opinion of who won that round. So it's not always gonna correct everything because it's still based off opinion. It depends on what you're looking for. It's based off opinion. What's going on, Just Do?
Just do.
Salute to my
DC
brother
was
Just.
good, though.
But
DJ was
let me
good.
let me set it out because I definitely want my brother Justin cook. But I'm gonna say this real quick. I think the thing that everybody's missing is this is how we've done it. What you looking for, Boxing Scholar, is anarchy. You want them to do all this stuff. That's gonna slow the fight down. Then they're gonna have to stop action. This ain't the NFL game, bro. This what happens, bro. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But to say that you want them to change the way we've been doing it for 100 years, just so you feel better about a win or a loss. Come on, man. There's no crying in boxing, man. It's just no crying. Like I said, Ken Norton got 3 fights sold from him. He never complained. Well, go ahead, Justin. I want to hear what you got on this, man.
Nah, my bad. Say, what was y'all chopping it up on, man?
Oh, we just talking about boxing. You know how Boxing Scholar is. He's an anarchist. He wants to stop doing things the way we've been doing it for 100 years, so you feel better about a win or a loss. I mean, it's about aggression, dude. That's the sport of boxing. If you're the aggressor, you're going to win. That's how it's supposed to be. What you think on that, Justin?
Hell nah. You got to be effective with that aggression. That's one of the reasons why I felt like Beaver won that fight. I don't know which fight y'all was talking about in specific, but that was a fight where I felt like a guy got a lot of credit for being a pressure fighter. But I thought a lot of that shit was ineffective, man. I thought Beaver did a good job of neutralizing that aggression. You can't just be aggressive alone and win a fight. That shit got to be effective aggression. He was in spots, but I feel like shit in that particular fight, you look at it, shit, that's a Beagle type fight. Ain't a better be type fight. That shit was far like a Beagle pace type of fight to me. I feel like the aggression is scored, but you got to be effective. And I feel like sometimes aggression alone just get too much credit. The stronger guy, the power puncher, get a lot more credit. Like they always say, well, he landed the more effective shots. That's obviously because he hit harder. So shit's gonna have a more effect when he get his shots in. But I like skills more so than just aggression. So
Well, let me ask you this.
like D Free said, is what one of y'all just said. I think it was D Free. It's all what you looking for.
Yeah. Let me say this real quick. Hey, let me ask you this real quick, Boxing Scholar. You for what you saying? So you think they should have the judges like somewhere away from the arena, like they do what they do with Steve Jabbing, have him in New Jersey while the game going to LA? That's what you're talking about, having somebody do an outside judge, or what are you saying as far as fixing the problem? Oh, he not there no more. What you think? How do you think you can fix the problem, Free? In your opinion, I don't know how we can fix the problem. That's my thing.
Say that again.
How can we fix the problem of bad judgments in boxing? How can we fix it, you think?
First off, hold them accountable.
Yeah. How can you fix the problem? I don't know if you can because it's based off opinion. I don't know if you can fix the problem because it like I said, it's not like any other sport. Where any other sport, you have to score a bucket or you have to score a run or a goal in order to get awarded a point. This sport here is based off of opinion, so it's always going to be unless the fight is stopped by a TKO or KO or it's just clearly one-sided. It's always going to be based off of what somebody believes. If somebody just might be a fan of a certain fighter, they're always going to see with those fan glasses on. We don't know if these judges are fans of these fighters. I'm quite sure some of them are fans of certain fighters. They've been watching boxing for a long time. Not saying that they know boxing, but they've been watching boxing for a long time. So some of these guys could be fan of certain fighters. So they watching with those fan goggles on, and everything they see, it just look good from that fighter, even though everybody else says something totally different.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I think a way to fix it, I mean, it's a process. I don't think it's no quick fix, right? But it's something that needs to be addressed. I think, like Thomas was just saying, holding them accountable. And one way to do it You know, I initially, the first time I ever seen it done, I didn't care for it. But looking back now, you know, that open scoring, making them be accountable for each round, not allowing them the time to figure out a screw job. No, don't afford them that time. You ever see a fight and you clearly know what's going on? Like you clearly, it's easy to see who won, but the decision taking a bit, then to come back with some funny business, and
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
because they're not held accountable from round to round. They're allowed to give a total. You get what I'm saying? They figuring
yeah,
out the scorecards and
yeah.
they, you know, the announcers buy them time while they keep talking, and even them sometimes they be like, "Oh, they taking a while to get to these scores." Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this
Right.
shit ain't, this shit ain't rocket science. Like, what the hell taking so long? So I think making them score from round to round as it happens, so you don't get no mystery, so you can see right then and there what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Don't give
Right.
them the time to say, "Oh, what your score is," and then they got to sit over here and figure it out. Because my thing is, if you scoring round by round, how long should it really take you to come up with your score if you've been scoring round by round?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
you get what I'm saying? So
But
I
let me
think
ask you this, Judge.
that could
Yeah.
help.
Yeah.
I think if
I
you
think.
do, let me say this real quick before
Go
you
ahead. Go
go.
ahead. Go ahead.
I think the thing that opens that up, you want to give the refs even more pressure. You see what I'm saying? That goes even more
Right?
pressure, and you can't do that because then you'll have people not want to do the job effectively. I don't know if you ever seen The Wire. There was a scene where the coach said, I mean, what a ref said, you want me to redo it? And what did my man, what did Omar, not Omar, what was his name? Avon say, that's not how the game is played. There is no do-overs. So at the end of the day, you got to live with the moment. You can't sit here and tell me, go back and look it over again. That's not how the game is played. If you play it like that, you're changing the sport forever. But go ahead, Free, my bad.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
I
get
was
that
gonna
in.
say. I think that could help. Because when the corners and the fighter know what the score is, if they see that their fighter is down or that they're down, it could make for a more action-packed fight. Because the fighters see that they're down, they're like, "Oh, I got to go ahead and pull a knockout because I'm down." Because a lot of times, we seen many times where fighters believe they had to fight one, and then we see that it wasn't in their favor. Another thing is, I think that could possibly help is having the judges have interviews and we hold them accountable what they saw in that round. Like we see a round that was clearly for one side and we see they judged it another way. We had the judges be able to get interviewed just like everybody else. What was about that round that you saw?
Right,
Because we clearly
right,
saw that it was this way. Why you
right.
scored for that fighter?
Speaking of, let me read this comment real quick. My man Bruce said, they tried open scoring, it didn't work. The reason was it took the excitement out of the fight. And that's what I'm saying. What you guys are talking about is changing the way the game is played. And there's no need to do that. I think it's an overreaction to the fact that Beterbiev won. But go ahead, and I see my man Ant-Man in the house. You got on this, man.
I think it might have been Boxing Scholar. He said something before about the interpretation. I do think that across the board it has to be clear as far as what certain language entails. Like for example, I actually thought Better Beer's pressure was effective because me personally, I think that oftentimes as fans, I think the pundits and whomever else, effective is conflated with efficient. Like to me, efficiency is just about the quality of it, but effectiveness is about how it works all the way around. Like the seventh round is a perfect example of it. Like there's a moment where Bivol, he's letting his hands go in combination. He gets hit with one shot, then takes the rest of the round off. And then the other thing too is, some of them punches they getting through the guard, they slipping around the guard. They may not be landing flush, they may not be the cleanest punches, but if I throw a punch and you keep your hands at home, especially if you look back at other fights in which this guy, he threw far more punches against other guys. He typically throws upwards of 600, 700 punches around. He didn't throw past, I think, like 560 versus Beterbiev. So to me, I'm just looking at effectiveness. that is effective. If I can stop you from throwing what you typically do, all of my work may not be the cleanest, but if I'm stopping you from doing what you typically do, then clearly I'm being effective in that way. It's not just about the punches landed. So I think that's one of the things that has to be ironed out with the ring generalship. Here's another thing. It's like if you just moving, but there's no follow through. You're not moving to set up an offense, and you're not moving with any type of purpose. You're just essentially playing keep away and being a cyclist. It's like
Jermaine Ortiz did to Tito. He ran. That's a good point.
Yeah, like that.
Not like that.
Real quick to what Bentley said. He said if Bivol would have won, would it be in a robbery? No, I think it was
Absolutely.
a close fight.
No,
I think it was a close fight. It could have went either way. I think it could have went either way. I always say it all depends on how many of the early rounds do you believe that Bivol won? Because we know that Arthur won majority of the later rounds. It all depends on how many of the earlier rounds do you believe that Bivol won. So I don't think it was a robbery either way. It all depends on, like I said, it's based off opinion. I think it was a close fight. It was only off by one round for it to be a draw. Either way, even if you had it, if you had it Bivol winning 7-5, it was off by one round from it being a draw. If you had it, Bivol winning one round, it was off by one round for being a draw. If you had it for Arthur, it was off one round from being a draw. I think it was a close fight. It could have went either way. It was only
That's what I say, Free. It was a close fight.
But my question would be to you, man. Why are people suggesting to change the way the game is played? That's disgusting. Because, like I said, we never heard Ken Norton complain when he had 3 fights stolen from him. He never complained. So
we don't know if he never complained. We don't know.
There ain't no footage of it. There's no footage of it. We've never. There's footage of people who said they won and they didn't.
That doesn't mean that things weren't said behind the scenes. I mean, we're in a different day and age, but damn near everything is broadcasted now. So, but either way, and then here's the other thing too, right? Like, we can't use that as the standard. I mean, once upon a time, people couldn't even sit down in the damn front of the bus. If somebody didn't complain, things wouldn't have got changed. Once upon a time, motherfuckers couldn't vote. If somebody didn't complain,
hey, don't say that word, brother. Don't say that word, man. Don't say that word, brother. Don't say that word.
I'm just saying. Once upon a time, people couldn't even read. How about that? People couldn't read. It was forbidden. We don't need you out here getting smart. We don't need you out here amassing any type of knowledge. Like, hell no. We don't need that. But somebody complained. You got to.
Yeah. I mean,
you got to.
People's always going to complain because we got to understand a lot of people was pulling for Bivol and they saw Bivol able to do something. It's similar to Tank Davis and Pitbull Cruz. A lot of people thought Pitbull Cruz won that fight because he went the distance with Tank Davis. They didn't look at the good stuff that Tank Davis did in that fight in order to pull that fight off. They didn't realize.
People thought he won.
There's a lot of people that thought that Pitbull won. There's a lot of people that thought Pitbull won.
Not only the Mexicans thought Pitbull won.
It's not only Mexicans. It's not only Mexicans.
Tank haters. I don't know.
I know.
How could you even think that fight was close?
The same way you don't think it was close is the same way people don't think that Arthur won this fight. They don't think that it was close. They thought Arthur clearly won that fight by robbery. They don't think it was close. They think Bivol pulled that fight off easily.
I'm glad you mentioned that, D-Free, because I asked the question to Breadman on Twitter, and I was asking him, like, do you think that at times people's expectations of a fight, like how they imagined it going, because the prevailing sentiments were, if it were to go to decision, that Bivol was going to win. Like he was just going to dance around Arthur and just make him look silly and so on and so forth. He was just going to elude him the entire night. And then if Beterbiev won, it was going to just be by knockout. He was going to catch him and knock him out, and that was it. And that there was like no way that Beterbiev could win the decision. And I think the same thing was said with Pitbull Cruz. Like the overwhelming feeling going into that fight was that Tank was just going to knock him out. So then that didn't happen. And then naturally you start giving this guy more credit because it's like, well, look, he went the distance with the guy who had 100% knockout ratio. He knocked everybody out. He went the distance with the guy that got a 90-something% knockout ratio. I thought he was a knockout artist. Pitbull Cruz ain't go to sleep. So then now you start giving these guys extra
people
credit.
really said that he won. I don't remember hearing that.
I don't remember.
Yes.
I remember some
I've
people
seen it.
grumbling.
And I'm not a huge Abdul Wahid fan, but
I heard of people saying it BVO, but I
crushed
just
him.
heard just
Yeah.
haters.
he crushed him.
Hell yeah.
If you watch that fight, he crushed him.
Yeah, they were saying he beat
It
Tank
was hard to give.
7-5.
I gave Pitbull a couple rounds. The round he hurt his hand,
Yo,
and even in that fight,
Let
he
me say
still
this real
Tank
quick.
hurt him a bunch of times.
Let me say this real
3 or
quick.
4 at most.
That's when I seen
Right.
That's when I seen that Abdul had those feet that made me say maybe he could go to welterweight. When I seen that fight, because I didn't know he could move like that. That was a shocker. I didn't know he could move like that. But go ahead.
I did. Yeah, I did. Hell yeah. Tank, that's the thing. Tank a complete athlete. For example, Ryan is athletic, right? But he's athletic from the waist up, not the waist down. Tank athletic. He got feet and he athletic from the waist up. You get what I'm saying? That dude got cat-like reflexes. He always had them feet. He just never had to show it because ain't nobody had no neck and was pressuring him the way Pitbull was. So he had to,
You said
you know,
the man ain't
going
got a
through
neck.
that.
You a goofball.
Yeah, he ain't got no neck. That boy got a hell of a chin. He don't got no neck. So when you
until
see
that
hurt,
damn
hurt that hand,
Cabrera fight, people were clamoring for the Pitbull rematch. Like, yeah, Pitbull going to give it to Tank in the rematch, yada yada yada. And then you seen the Cabrera fight, then we like, nah, we cool on that. Like, he ain't what we thought he was.
I never thought nothing about Pitbull Cruz. I just thought he was just an overhyped little dude that got a little fan base, and he went in there and got whooped. Then he just got whooped again by Rayo. So,
and that's another example. Let me say this real quick. Then that's another example. Me and Ant had this conversation before. That's another example where Mike Tyson went out of his way to embrace him. Let me read you a direct quote from Iron Mike Tyson. Because we were just talking about how Iron Mike Tyson go out his way to praise non-black fighters. Hold on 1 second. Where is this quote at? Give me 1 second. Y'all can cook while I find this quote.
You also got to pull up the clip when he had the Charlos on there too, man, and all these other guys. He bowing to Sugar Ray Leonard and
he liked Tank,
Tommy's
right?
Hearn and all these other guys, man. Like, yo,
I'm just
might give everybody props, though. Might give everybody.
Yeah, he give everybody just too.
Hey, maybe because I got a closer.
The only fighter I can think of in the past couple of years that wasn't one of his contemporaries that he had even a modicum of smoke for was Floyd Mayweather, and this was after Floyd made the comments about Muhammad Ali, and then Mike Tyson said, "Well, Muhammad Ali could walk his children to school." That's what being a champ is all about. He got respect, and Floyd is a scared little man. But outside of that, might give everybody their just due, pun intended.
But I'll say this, man.
Think about it, Mike amongst the people, man. Floyd, you know, with the bodyguards, he isolated himself from the same people that supported him for years. Mike is amongst the people that supported him for years. Lost it, got it.
Floyd's a little bitty man, though.
Lost it, got it back.
He's a little bitty man, and I think people don't give him credit that there's some bullies out there who might just kind of knock his head off just because he's small.
Nah, that's because he ain't of the people. That's because, you know, he a hell of a boxer, but it don't transition the same way. Like his personality, although it was very productive in terms of making money, but look how people overall, how they view him. They disrespect Floyd in a heartbeat. If it's outside of boxing, they disrespect him in a heartbeat. Mike, he got that respect even after being a defeated, knocked out, whole career older guy. You know what I mean? You got some people that just, the respect is different. Shit just hit different. You ever seen that video where Floyd was overseas and Anthony Joshua and taking pictures and everybody was walking past him?
They walked right past that nigga.
That's not that they don't fuck with him, but his personality.
Hey, man, you can't say that word, bro. I got some people watching, man.
His personality hasn't been exactly the way, you know, it's not welcoming. Because you've been surrounded and shrouded with guards for years and years. It's like, then when you ready to be, you know what I mean, friendly, is like they supposed to care. And that's why I felt like they was walking right past him, straight to AJ. Even with him being knocked out and all that stuff, they love him. It's something different. It's just when you got the
But
people,
Floyd
you
is from
got
Detroit, man. Floyd is from Grand Rapids, man. It's a
Floyd
very
from
unfriendly
Brunswick.
place.
Floyd is from Jersey. He's from Brunswick, where I'm from.
Oh, now he's from Brunswick. Okay,
Nah, you
but
really do the homework. I ain't making that up though. Do the homework.
I've
I know
always
some
known him
people
to be
that's
from Grand
related to him,
Rapids.
but I won't go that far and say I'm related, but I know some people that is for sure. Pictures with him and everything, all type of shit. Shit, my boy was with his girl was related to Floyd, got the tickets and everything. So it was one of them tank fights. Right up, seeing his grandson, all that type of stuff. That dude he been, some people know him from around this way.
Man, I just think when you like he was being from what I've always known him to be in Grand Rapids, that's not a friendly place. So I think he could have just adopted that unfriendliness from that. I mean,
Nah,
him, look at Eminem. He not friendly.
I think, yeah, I think if you look at Floyd the way he came into the game, he
Mm-hmm.
was a lot more, I don't know, how could I say it? He
He
seemed
was
a lot more
jovial.
humble, if you
Yeah.
will. Like, but it got to a point where I think he just felt like the credit wasn't being given properly. And once he found a way to market that hate into dollars, he put on his persona, and that shit carried. I think even after him retiring, I think he still carries a bit of that persona, and it's not necessarily the most welcoming type of energy.
Man,
You know what I'm
he
saying? It's
did
like,
so
look at
much
the
for
way.
boxing and got dogged, man. He did so
It
much for
is
boxing and
true,
got dogged.
true, true,
Well, he
I
just did
mean,
true.
some. He just did a $420 million deal with some other investors for some housing. So that was pretty dope.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
seen that prize. I seen that, bro. I
Give
meant
him.
to talk about that.
Let's give him his credit on that.
Floyd don't get his
Mhm.
credit, man, because Floyd is your average Detroit nigga, super flashy. Look what I got. You know, where they buffs, where they rollies. That's Detroit dude for you, man. I don't know, man. I think
But
people
you
too
can do
hard on
all
him.
of that. You can do all that and still have a warm welcome and good positive energy.
Man, he never got his credit, man. He don't get the credit he did. Man, when he came into the game, Roy was still number one. And he changed that. He made it not be people stopped caring about heavyweights and bigger guys and start caring about him. That wasn't really the case before, man. You had a few breakout stars like Duran and Leonard, but that wasn't the norm. So he did all that and still didn't get his credit. Remember that famous story where he asked Bob Heyman to do a billboard of him on the MGM? He said, "No, you're not a big enough star." He said, "Well, if you put me up there, I will be a big enough star." He actually had to go so far they would get a music promoter to help him do his thing. So I mean, Floyd is still angry about boxing because it never gave him his credit. And as my dog just said all the time, he never got his just due. Ever. He still don't get it. He still don't
I
get it.
mean, he gonna always with a personality like a Money Mayweather. That's gonna breed hate. Like, think about how mad the people are because he talked the way he talked and fight the way he fight, and you can't do nothing about it. And he keep winning, and you keep paying your money, just hoping one day somebody gonna beat him, and it never happened. You'll be pissed off too, like, man.
You
Little
love that, man. You
flashy,
love that he be
hate that
doing
little
it.
flashy motherfucker. I don't like his ass. He ain't all that good anyway, bro. It was better. Start going in.
You got a
I like
lot of
Sugar
love
Ray
too,
more.
though. He got a
Nah, he
lot of love
did. For
too.
sure. For
That's the
sure.
one thing I say, man, because I know a
What,
lot of
what,
people that love Floyd Mayweather.
let me
Hmm.
ask you this real quick, Free.
I love Floyd Mayweather, but I don't like some of his stuff he say and some of the stuff he do. He just get on my nerves.
Hmm.
So let me ask you this real quick, Free. When you talk about, big fights, I mean, of course, Tommy still had to bring up Abdul Wahid. We talk about big fights, man. Can we just come to the acceptance that we won't see the greatness that we've seen before? Because I think the Puerto Rican Shakur could probably do it, but I don't really see anybody else other than probably a T.O. or a Devin Haney looking to be great. So at this point, should we just accept what we get in boxing, or you think as fans we should keep saying, "Hey, we want one of the biggest stars in boxing to fight"? Go ahead.
I don't know. I can't tell what's going to happen in the future. If I could, I'd be a millionaire right now. I don't know. We believe, we see, we go. A lot of us tend to see past actions from certain people and just assume that's what it's going to be. But like I told you many times before, we have to judge Tank according to what he does now, because all the moves that he made when he was under Floyd, that wasn't his doing. I can't hold Tank accountable for stuff that Floyd and Leonard Ellaby was doing, because that was the way they wanted Tank to move. That was the way they wanted to take Tank.
Where was you at earlier, bro? Damn, you said it, man. I said exactly that on the show. Where was you at, man? I know we ain't both crazy. We ain't both crazy, bro.
I've been saying this for a minute. We can't judge Tank Davis off of what Floyd does. We can only judge Tank Davis off of what he's doing since he left Floyd. And when everybody kept saying, "Oh, we know Tank is going to rematch Pitbull Cruz," what did he do? He fought Frank Martin. And everybody, that was one of the 4 fights that they said they wanted to see Tank Davis in. It was Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, and Frank Martin. Those were the 4 fights that they say they wanted to see Tank in. And he picked Frank Martin. Now all of a sudden, Frank Martin wasn't good enough. And then after that Frank Martin fight, they said, Tank Davis going to go fight Arroyo again. He's going to go fight Arroyo. Arroyo just beat Pitbull. He's going to go fight Arroyo. Well, we saw Tank Davis try to get the Loma fight. That fight fell through. And then we heard that he had reached out to Shakur Stevenson. That fight didn't happen. And then when he did send an offer to Arroyo said, "Well, it got to be at 140." He went and got the Frank Martin. I mean, he went and got the Lamont Roach fight. Now everybody said, "Well, we rather see that we wanted you to fight El Rayo. Why you ain't get El Rayo?" Y'all was just saying, y'all was just clowning him for fighting for the El Rayo fight. Y'all was just clowning him for it. Now y'all want him to fight El Rayo. So I only criticize and take judgment on Tank Davis in what he does. Either I'm gonna praise him for the fight or I'm gonna criticize him for the fight, but I'm not going to do it until he announces fight, because we never know what Tank Davis is going to do until he makes his announcement. We assume what he's going to do. Everybody assume what Tank Davis is going to do until he makes the announcement. Then it wasn't what everybody thought it was going to be. When it was under Floyd, we pretty much know what it was going to be, because we knew Floyd was trying to keep it in-house, and they were trying to get Tank Davis in those fights that was generating more money. And the way you generate more money, it was by fighting Brown versus Black. That's why he was generating more money. So
mic drop anybody? Boom, boom, boom. Tell me when he lied. Tell me one play you can. There's no arguing that. That is a fact. That was what's going on.
Let me say this because, of course, Puerto Rican Free is a beautiful speaker, man. But again, he just sold us out again. Abdul Wahid has one of the crowns on. If you're gonna wear a crown, either take the crown off, man, or give to somebody like Devin or Tio who gonna give you the best fights. I'm just so tired.
Hey man, you got to stop pushing that propaganda in boxing, bro. You got to stop that, bro.
Hold on, Crush. Hold on. You'll get your turn. You get your turn. And the thing we gotta understand
I'm gonna get you. No, I'm gonna get you.
Hold on, you keep interrupting me. Don't do this to me. I'm your brother, man. We black. We don't do that. But let me ask you this: how come we cannot just tell guys what it is? At this point, Abdul Wahid is showing you he's nothing but a show horse. He's gonna do the fights that make money. That's what he said he wanted to do. He's a pay-per-view star. He does not want to be great. He's not going to be great. It's people like I said, the Puerto Rican Shakur. You got Teofimo Lopez. You got Devin American Jr. These guys are there to be great. We're not saying that. I haven't heard Tank say nothing about William Zepeda, nothing about Tio. He didn't want to fight Devin until the racist Ryan Garcia beat him. So, I mean, the whole thing with Abdul Wahid, man, the protection he gets, it's unreal, bro. I think he's like the new Ricky Hatton of boxing, man. Shout out to Ricky Hatton. I think y'all treating him like Abdul Wahid. He gonna get exposed like Ricky Hatton did. I'm just letting y'all know, man. He gonna get in there with a guy he's never been in a 50-50 fight his whole career.
But BBO, you can't.
I interrupt you.
You can't say that. You can't say that, BBO. You can't say that because
I'm your brother. I'm your brother. Don't do me like that. I'm your brother. Stop. I'm your brother. And I'm gonna say this last point. At the end of the day, what happened when Ricky Hatton got in there with a guy who can really fight, like a Devin Haney, who reminds me of Floyd, or a Tio who reminds me of Floyd? He got stopped. And I cannot wait till Abdul Wahid step up. Either step up, man, or step off, man. We want to see you fight the best, or don't say nothing. But go ahead, y'all got it.
No, you can't say that
Man,
you can't say that because you know the fight with Tio, it couldn't happen. And I told you it wasn't going to happen before Tio had came out and said that he couldn't fight no more this year because he's going through a lawsuit with Bob Arum. I had been told you that, BBO. I had already talked to people behind the scenes, and I had been told you that before he even came out and said anything about it. I had told you that fight wasn't going to happen. He had a lawsuit going against Bob Arum. And the fight with Devin Haney, I said that wasn't going to happen because Devin Haney had took some time off. We didn't know what weight class. We still don't know what weight class Devin Haney's coming back at. From what I've been hearing, he might go to 147. And this is from people that's talking with his camp. He might be going to 147. So we know that Tank Davis had reached out to Shakur. If that fight would have happened, y'all wouldn't be having the same talk y'all having right now. The fight didn't happen because they said it wasn't ready yet. For whatever reason, that fight didn't happen. But we know that Tank team reached out to Shakur. We know that Tank tried to make the fight with Loma. We wouldn't be having the same conversation. Now, the knock would have been on Tank Davis. Oh, he's only fighting Loma because he's old. When we know that Tank Davis been wanting that fight since 2019. There's interviews saying that where Tank Davis said in 2019 he wanted that fight. But y'all acting like it was Tank that was holding out on the fight with Loma. When Loma asked to fight Tank or quote unquote wanted that fight with Tank in 2017, Loma was the A side. Why he didn't send an offer? You said Tank all he got to do is send an offer. He's the A side. All he got to do is send an offer. Well, why Loma didn't send an offer in 2017? He was the A side at that time. Why he ain't send an offer? Tank wasn't an A side. Nobody was even checking for Tank because that was prior to Tank Davis beating Jose Pedraza. That was prior to that when Loma said he wanted the Tank Davis fight. So, I mean, y'all got to keep the same energy. If y'all saying Tank is the A side, all you got to do is send an offer. Well, y'all got to have that same energy for Loma when he was the A side. Why he ain't send an offer?
I'm going to tell you this, Free. You see how good that
hold
felt
up,
to
man.
get
Let me
see how good it
see
felt?
it.
Hold on 1 second. Let me just say this for Free. You see how good it felt to get through your monologue without me interrupting? That's all I ask. Let me get through a monologue without you interrupting. I'm gonna give you that same respect. Go ahead, Press.
Hey, BBO, before I go on, I'm going to ask you a serious question. I ain't joking or nothing. Bro, you getting paid for pushing propaganda in boxing? Because I'm starting to think you are now. Because that's all you doing is pushing propaganda, my man. And me as your brother, you ain't doing that. You got to be more creative than that, bro. We're not going to keep on having the same stupid conversation about what the heck Tank ain't did and what everybody else done. Ain't nobody did nothing. I keep on telling y'all, you keep on saying Dan to be great. There's nothing great about Shakur. So why do Tank gotta fight Shakur to be great? There's nothing great about Shakur. That's to be clear. There's nothing great about none of these dudes. Because
That's
y'all
not
can't
true.
even wait, bro. Let me have my time. Because I listen to you blow all this smoke.
I'm
right?
getting you back.
There's
That's all. Go ahead.
It's nothing great about none of these dudes. Because first of all, where do greatness start from? Y'all don't have a definition. Y'all don't. You can't make up one. And the reason why is that because when you're going off of what's supposed to make you great in boxing, with these guys on this roster, none of these dudes is a test for greatness. From the bottom to the damn top, we got to stop this nonsense. I ain't taking up for nobody, but I'm speaking up for the sport of boxing. I don't care about none of these fighters. I don't care if they come and go, because they come and go all the time. But if I'm going to speak, I'm going to be honest. And none of these dudes is freaking great. None of them. We say they got to do all this and do all that to be great, but where do it start from? It don't start for no goddamn accolades. Get out of here with that. It don't start for no accolades. Get that out of here. I'm great. I got accolades all over my freaking wall. Whoopee freaking do. But do that mean that it's not anyone that's better than me? No, that doesn't mean that. But the whole thing is you got to hold all these dudes accountable, because in order for one to be great, the other one got to be great too. And ain't none of these dudes great. They haven't done nothing yet. We've been giving them too much credit. Their careers ain't even over yet. They somewhat look like they over. And the way some of these guys is looking, you shouldn't have too much confidence in the way these guys are looking because the way that they are moving, and that's just simple. Once again, stop talking about Tank and Dev. That fight is never going to happen. Get it out your head. It's not going to happen. Just like D3 said, they not going to never be in the same weight class. Get over it, homeboy. Whoopie do. The Four Kings, none of them fought the goddamn body snatcher. Get over it. There's going to be fights in boxing that's never going to happen for whatever reason. So can we just stop talking about Tank and Dev? It's too much to talk about in sport of boxing, and definitely when these dudes is nowhere close in the same weight class, and y'all don't even know where this dude is coming back at. Y'all still had a big question mark with this dude because you don't even know. So what you should do is pump your brakes and be quiet and then talk after he done made his move, because everybody's talking like they got a damn crystal ball and ain't nothing coming out clear. Nothing. But all these guys got to put in the work to be whatever you call great. Every last one of them, no one is excluded.
Well, let me do
one.
this real quick. Let me do this real quick, Chris. I got to bring my man Ant in the house, man. You know, one of the voices of reason. What you think about this, Ant? Because we know we're hearing a lot of hate on Teofimo Lopez, unified two-time New York champion, and a lot of hate on Young Dev. You know, we call him, some of us call him Black Jesus, man, our dear brother, man. What you think about this? All this hate on these two guys.
I'm an Edward Vasquez fan. I'm the wrong person to ask.
They ain't no hate.
I'm an Edward Vasquez fan, man. I'm the wrong person to ask. Objectively, I wouldn't go as far as to say that none of these guys have done like nothing. But I do think, though, is that across the board, we got to show a little bit more appreciation to these fighters. And I'm not even talking about the guys that's just all the way at the top, but also the other guys who may not be as notable as some of these other dudes. We just saw it this past weekend. Murtazaliev, a lot of people were picking Tim Tszyu strictly based off of the name.
Mm-hmm.
He got his ass dusted off.
I definitely picked him off a name.
But the reason why I mention that is I think it's imperative that we look at Murtazaliev and say, hey, good shit, instead of diminishing Tim Tszyu and saying, oh, he was a bum, he got exposed. Like, nah, you got to look at that.
Right.
As it pertains to Tank. Let's say in the event that Lamont Roach happened to pull off what many people would believe to be the impossible or the improbable, do we now denigrate Tank, or do we say, damn, Lamont Roach is a lot better than what we thought?
They're going to denigrate Tank.
We'll just say this.
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch. Hey.
I know he cussed on the internet, my bad. But I don't know, man.
You knew it was
that's my biggest issue.
I forgot about that one. I had to cuss. Go ahead.
That's my biggest issue. That's my biggest issue when it comes to us as boxing fans. It's like we don't look at things across the board on a spectrum. Everything is just hyperbole. It's all the way over here or it's all the way over here.
Yeah.
There's
See,
no in between.
Let me have you get it before you go free. Let me have Just get on this, man. Then I'm gonna have Free close us out. Go ahead, Just. I don't know if you want to get in on this conversation.
Let me say this one last thing, BBO, because to make to Crush's point, right, with the accolades thing, it's very circumstantial, because I can't sit here and say, oh, well, Devin Haney is trying to make the greatest fights and he's daring to be great. He fought Regis Prograis, who looked like shit in his previous fight.
Hey, your brother. Your brother.
But come on, bro.
Talk about it, man.
And Bill was in the building. Bill was scouting. He was probably rubbing his hands together when he seen my guy Regis get dropped. That was not the Regis Prograis that fought against Juan Velasco and Josh Taylor. Right. Josh Taylor, his punk ass been staying at 140 way too damn long. You seen him next to Terrence Crawford. He looked like a damn super middleweight next to Terrence Crawford. So what does that mean? That means him being at 140, he's drained as hell fighting at 140. He looked shot when he fought against Catterall the first time.
Right.
So I'm not going to give T.O. all the credit in the world and say, oh my God, he beat Josh Taylor, who's the man. Yeah, the name is there, but my Knicks are playing right now. I remember when we got Tracy McGrady. We didn't get Orlando Magic Tracy McGrady. We got the dude with back spasms and bad ankles and a bogus knee. That's what we got.
Right.
We
No,
didn't get T-Mac. We got Tracy. We didn't get T-Mac. We got Tracy.
that's why I say a lot of times, yeah, the names is great, but when you start to pick apart
What's going on?
at the resume,
Y'all good?
when we start to pick apart at that resume, you start to realize it ain't always what it cracked up to be. It's not all what it cracked up to be.
In addition to that, D-Free, then we also got to look at all the other guys that they fought prior. I can't remember anybody who Devin Haney fought before Antonio Moran. Like, I honestly can't.
Yeah, most people don't. Most people don't
can't-
know
I
who
remember
Devin
the
Haney
last
was.
handful of fights,
Most people
and I
don't know who
can't say-
Devin Haney was prior to that.
I can't sit here and say, and I think
Well,
Jojo
I knew
Diaz
who
is
Devin
a
Haney
solid
was
fighter.
when he was a kid fighting in Floyd Gym
No,
for watching.
there's some
familiar
people
with him.
there's some people that's familiar with him, but most people don't know who he was. Most people
And
don't.
I'm not crapping on Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney is a fantastic fighter, but I think it's just overblown
Esau.
when you
Oh, brother, dude.
weigh the guy's whole value based on him being undisputed versus Kambosos. But it's like, who else the hell did he fight? And then Kambosos, we seen him getting danced on by Maxie Hughes, which we seen why Maxie Hughes didn't get the decision because the money fight was for Kambosos and Loma.
Yeah.
And
that's
got
hold
dust
up,
it off.
BBO, before you go. And that's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned Kambosos. Like everybody mentioned Kambosos. Kambosos was a heck of a fighter. Well, when Tank Day was trying to fight Loma, they said Loma was old. But Loma was the only person to stop Kambosos. Tio didn't stop Kambosos. Devin Haney didn't stop Kambosos. Loma was the only one that stopped him. And we believe that Loma and Devin Haney fight was a heck of a fight. We believe that Devin Haney and Kambosos' second fight was a heck of a fight. Devin Haney threw everything at Kambosos, but he didn't stop him. Loma did stop him. We believe that Tio is a bigger puncher than Loma. So if Tio couldn't stop Loma, Devin couldn't stop Loma. The old man Loma was Tio couldn't stop Kambosos, and Devin couldn't stop Kambosos. But the old man Loma, the one that everybody want to say is old because Tank Davis is fighting him now, that man was able to stop Kambosos, who everybody want to give a lot of credit to Kambosos. Kambosos is a fighter, though. He's a good fighter. He's an okay fighter. I'm not going to say he's good. He's an okay fighter. He looked good at moments. At other moments, he looked like hot garbage. He's an okay fighter.
Well, let me say this real quick before we get ready for the Rise podcast. Now, I always try to have this moment, before we finish. But today's moment, I'm going to say, is very, very important. It's very important to, whenever you're going through something, to address it. Head on. I'm going to speak about myself. I was dealing with some things personally, the loss of my grandmother, and I was able, through, prayer, to actually let that go. And I can tell you what, I feel like a different person. If you are going through something, no joke, this is no Ryan Garcia messing around. It's very important to address it because you'll mess around and lose years of your life because you didn't address the problem at hand. And I just want to say, if you're struggling with anything, just understand how important it is to, whether it's getting your Bible, getting your Quran, whatever the case may be, do that because you don't want to lose years of your life trying to finish up, things that you should have been let go or things you should have been moved on. And on that note, we're getting ready for the Rise podcast. Salute to my mentor, Judge Duke, for coming over. Salute to my man, Ant-Man. Salute to my man,
Shout out to the
Puerto Rican Free.
BBO, D-Free, my guy. You already know, prize fighter, Professor at McQueen. All love, man. Good show, great show. Shout out to the fellas, Dope Bills, yeah.
And don't forget this, man. Crush is hating on Devin Haney. And
Pardon me. Shout out to my brother, Crush.
Yeah, he hate on our
Shout
brother,
out to
man.
my guy, Crush, too, man.
If anybody think I'm hating on Devin Haney, come and get this ass whipping. That's all I got to say.
We really boxing. Who wanted the battles? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like